Welcome back to the Hightstown High School Ram Report. I'm Byron Ruff.
And I'm Brianna Ryan. And as fresh as spring is, we're back and better than ever with the spring edition of the Hightstown High School Ram Report. On today's show, Hightstown presents A Touch of Black. Senior Griffin Lepore defies stereotypes. Students get the chance to showcase their talents, and a shocking result for the girls softball team against Allentown. We have the results. All this and more on the Hightstown High School Ram Report.
Starting off, we have A Touch of Black, a show to educate the community about African American culture. The show is presented every February during Black History Month. Here to cover the show is Alia Patel.
Song, dance, poetry, a little bit of history. We have a little bit of a political message in the beginning, and then we just want to make sure the show is fun and exciting the whole way through.
The audience for A Touch of Black were treated to all different aspects of African American culture.
We want to inspire people to understand our culture, where we come from, never forget where we come from.
President Jessica Boade moved to the United States over 3.5 years ago after being born and raised in Italy. Having Ghanaian parents while being raised in Italy taught her a lot about her African and Italian culture.
So since I was born, I knew more about Italian culture and African culture. But when I moved here and I joined the African American Club, it taught me a lot about African American culture.
The show itself is put together to provide a fun night full of entertainment, tying in cultural customs from the show, educates as well as engages the audience.
Some people don't really know what we do, such as Mr. Hernandez with the drums. Some people are like, why the drums? We want them to remember this is what we used to do back in the day. A Touch of Black simply means to remember all the African American people that left a touch of their intelligence.
African American history is American history, and so the diversity of America makes the cultural customs a part of everyone's culture.
Like, this is everyone's history, and that's just what we want to give people, just a piece of history that may not be taught in all the classes because there may not be enough time, or it's just not mainstream or things along those lines.
You can have ambition, but not too much. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you threaten the man. Even
though Black History Month is a thing and it's recently been recognized, it shouldn't have to be forced. It should just be like, this is everyone's history.
The African American Awareness Club put on a great show. The dances, skits, and poetry allowed for an enjoyable night full of fun. Come watch the 6th annual show next year, guys. This is Alia Patel from the Ram Report.
Thanks, Alia. That performance was great. What an amazing way to showcase their culture to the students and staff.
Now let's take a look at one of Hightstown High School's star athletes, Griffin Lepore, who decided to make HHS history by joining an unlikely team.
Griffin Lepore is a senior and a good student. He plays baseball and spends his free time staying in shape. Griffin has played baseball for years and has been a varsity player since freshman year. While being the starting pitcher, Griffin found the pressure to be stronger as the seasons go on.
I've been playing baseball for a while, maybe 4 years. I started probably at 4 years old. I'm 18, so yeah, 14 years.
But in 2017, Griffin decided to do something a little different during his last year at Hightstown. Griffin joined the cheerleading team, which is of course thought of as just a girls' sport.
What made you want to join cheerleading?
Alex came up with this idea to be on the cheerleading team.
Alex Civillo is Griffin's best friend who convinced him to join the team.
And I just didn't want to do that first, but then he was like, come on, we can make history and everything. And I was like, all right, maybe.
Well, Alex, I knew that he would work hard if he put his mind to it. I was a little bit nervous about Griffin because everyone knew he was doing it as a joke.
He's never shown any interest in cheer or anything, and I didn't think he would skip baseball or give up baseball to come try out.
At first I was just treating it as a joke and having fun, but then I thought about how much all the other people cared about it, so then I was like, well, yeah, now I have to take it seriously.
When I thought a few weeks into it he would quit because he took it as a joke at tryouts, but then as the season went on, he learned stuff, I guess, and it wasn't until a week before we left for Disney that he was like, oh God, I gotta know what I'm doing.
It's at first I thought it was you show up to practice once a week and then you just go to Disney. It wasn't like that. We had practice 5-6 days a week sometimes. Sometimes we had practice Monday through Saturday, a competition on Sunday, so it was 7 days a week. I did not like that at all.
With hours of practice, the team was ready to compete in Disney. Thanks to the boys, the girls were able to reach new heights, literally. With high basket tosses and clean jumps, the varsity cheer team was able to achieve 3rd place.
While male cheer is common in college, Griffin and Alex proved anyone can join, boy or girl, even in high school. They're both seniors at HHS, so don't be afraid to join and come out next fall to continue their legacy. I'm Samantha Douglas, signing off.
Thanks, Sam, and good job, Griffin. We are proud of you.
Another event Hightstown hosts is the Coffeehouse, which is presented 3 times a year. Students love coming together to enjoy an evening of music and much more. Here's Zach Abriscato with the story.
Welcome to the Hightstown High School main cafeteria, where the lights are dim, the coffee is hot, and the jazz is just as cool. We turned down this place into a funky, fresh hangout session known as the Coffeehouse.
How is the Coffeehouse different from, say, the talent show?
Right, we have a couple different ways that we keep it different. One is there's no competition, so it's really just a showcase for talent.
Auditions are held right here in the choir room. Though it might seem tense, the chill atmosphere gives off a relaxing vibe.
Well, they have to audition for the music teachers, first off. And second off, what we're looking for is a variety of different acts.
One thing the Coffeehouse is extremely well known for is the variety of acts, ranging from just your casual singing to even some magic. You can expect anything to happen.
And how does it feel to perform at the Coffeehouses?
It's great. It's great to, I think, have the students get to see teachers, a different side of teachers that they don't normally see in a classroom, which is really important.
Coffeehouse Stage is not only a venue for veteran performers, like the teachers, but a place where new talent can shine.
I love watching somebody that we discover, like a freshman like Angel. Okay, so blew all of us away that she could sing like that. The main draw of the Coffeehouse that we think is that it does open this up for students that ordinarily would not like to perform in, say, a talent show where it's a competition.
The next and final Coffeehouse will take place in April. We asked Mr. Ernst about this coming Coffeehouse and why everyone should come down.
I would say come on out and see a Coffeehouse if you've never come out and seen a Coffeehouse. And that goes for the teachers also. It's great to see the students that you have in your classes performing or doing something that you may not even know that they do, that they're capable of doing.
Hopefully, everybody can come out and see what our Hightstown High School students and staff have to offer. And I'm Zach Abriscato of the Ram Report, signing off.
Hopefully everybody can come out and see what Hightstown students and staff have to offer. Hey Byron, you should try it for the Coffeehouse.
Well, it's not really my thing, but for something I do enjoy, let's talk sports with Hayden Klein.
Spring is finally here, meaning great weather, spring break, but best of all, spring sports. Softball started tryouts back in early March and have been practicing for weeks for yet another great season with Coach Kayla Souls.
So with being 2016 Coach of the Year, there's obviously a lot of pressure to do even better than last year. So what are your goals for the season to improve upon all that?
I think I see myself the same way that I tell them, is if I get better each day, then it helps them get better each day. And as far as me, I wouldn't be where I am or have that without them.
After long hours of practicing and a couple scrimmages, the Hightstown Lady Rams are ready to kick off the season with their first game against the Allentown Redbirds.
And they're a great hitting team, they have great pitchers, they have solid defense.
I think their biggest strength is their offense. They're a really strong hitting team, so we're working a lot on our outfield.
They have fast players on their team, so we have to practice our bunt defense and getting those runners out.
You know, we just got to play our A game.
And their A game they played. In the batter's box, the Bridgman sisters owned the game with 2 runs each. Senior Holly went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a home run on her first at-bat, while freshman Allie added a single and 2 more runs. On the mound, pitcher Sam Dolan pitched a 6-hitter with 2 walks and 7 strikeouts to secure the win for Hightstown. For Allentown, Dominici, Natariani, and Campanella had 2 singles each. Pitcher Heather Devine had 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. The Rams beat the Redbirds 4-0. But the softball career doesn't end in high school for everybody.
I'm going to Drexel University in the fall to study sport management. I've been dreaming of going Division I since I was a little girl, so this is definitely a huge step for me. I'll be catching and playing outfield for Coach Carl Taylor, and I'm super excited for where the future takes me.
In other sports news, girls lacrosse played at Stewart Day and won 20-13, with top scorers being Kenzie Roca, Carly Haug, and Abby Augustino, who also got the Best Assist Leader Award, and the Best Goalie Award went to Nina Mason. Boys lacrosse played at Pennington and won 11-2, with top scorers being Frank Barsda, Ryan Daunt, and Jake Haug. Baseball played home against Lawrence and won 10-6. Stephen Brookwell had 2 runs, Liam Monahan had 4 RBIs, and David Jasper pitched 7 strikeouts. That's all for sports news. Back to you guys at the desk.
Hightstown High School's cheerleading team hosts their yearly fundraising event called Mr. HHS. Senior male students compete to win the title as they walk the runway and show off their flair. This year, Ram Report's own Zach Abrascato won the title of Mr. HHS. Congratulations, Zach.
The Distributive Education Club of America, also known as DECA, prepares students to become good leaders and entrepreneurs. The DECA Club went to Atlantic City for the DECA State competition in February. Here's Siddhanva Murthy with the story.
When the DECA Club goes to states, it takes more than hopping on a bus and going to Atlantic City. It takes months and months of work.
We do practice role plays and practice tests. I send them links to different advice columns that DECA posts for the students.
Each student participated in different competitions like role plays, presentations, and written events. This year's competition was much larger than it was in the past year.
It now is holding 3,500 students, which definitely changed the way that the students were competing and the competition that they had against them.
After the students competed in their events, most of them moved on to the finalist rounds. After that, the finalists who were able to win a place from 1st to 6th place received their spots to go to nationals.
I'm really proud of them. They worked really hard. They've been working since October on making sure that they can pass their tests and their role plays when they get to the state competition, and I was really excited and proud of the way that they were able to accomplish their goals.
I know that everyone worked really hard that's in DECA to get this far, and as much as I wish other people from my chapter would have qualified as well, it's just such an amazing feeling, hearing your name called on that stage.
Based on their performance in Atlantic City, the winners will have the chance to compete at the DECA Nationals Conference in Anaheim, California.
We actually got to send, I believe, 12 other people. So I think every person that's, was involved enough to DECA to make it this far is so important to our organization.
As we speak, the winners of DECA states are currently preparing for the DECA National Conference in Anaheim, California. We wish them luck as they begin preparation under the guidance of Ms. Petrasek and Ms. Akramas, as well as the DECA chapter advisors. This is Siddhanva Murthy of the Ram Report, signing off.
We'll be looking forward to see our students compete in Anaheim, California for the national DECA State competition.
Going from Krebs to Hightstown can be intimidating for students, but for the past 2 years, Hightstown has tried to ease this rite of passage by welcoming the 8th graders to tour our building. Let's take a closer look with Denise Quintanilla here to welcome class of 2021.
Freshman orientation is a big step towards moving students to HHS. As the 8th graders walk through the halls of HHS, they get to experience what it feels like to be Rams for the day.
Okay, so this is the band room.
The high schoolers take the 8th graders around the school. As the students switch to high school, Assistant Principal Mr. Delaney is here to help them prepare.
Overall, I think my role is to make sure that the students are comfortable in coming up here, that they're not overly anxious about the building, that their parents understand that we're here to take care of them, keep them safe, and give them a good education.
Not only does Hightstown prepare the students for the move, Krebs also has a big impact on how they evolve into mature high schoolers.
The biggest thing that we try to do to prepare them for high school is by having the orientation at the high school so they get a sense of what it's like there.
Many 8th graders have fears about high school. They're not sure if they will be able to adjust, not sure of what to expect. The teachers at Krebs are highly involved in preparing these students and easing their concerns.
Our students prepared for the high school by
giving them a lot of work that is structured to look like what they're going to see next year?
Well, as we go through the school year, we talk about what's expected of them at high school. We start giving them expectation.
The middle school curriculum also helps the 8th grade students adjust for HHS.
We actually do a lot of cross-articulation with the 9th and 10th grade teachers. We've done a lot of that this past year.
The students at Krups enjoy the process of moving to HHS with the support from their teachers throughout the year. Going to high school can be exciting yet concerning for the students as well.
Do you feel like your teachers prepared you well?
Yes, definitely. They prepared me through the courses.
I believe the workload and the responsibility is definitely going to be a big transition.
What advice would you give to them?
Just being involved in something, making a connection to a group of kids, making a connection to an advisor, making a connection to the school itself goes a long way in their success and their happiness.
Throughout this whole process, Hightstown does a great job with welcoming the 8th graders into this new environment with the help from the staff at Krups. We can't wait to see this new group of kids finally become Rams. This is Denise Quintanilla for the Ram Report.
And this concludes our spring edition of the Hightstown High School Ram Report.
We'll be back on air with the summer edition in a couple months. Until then, I'm Byron Ruff.
And I'm Brianna Ryan, signing off. See you in the next edition of the Ram Report.